House the Lich King. Wow. Rat of the Lich King. Cataclysm. Hola camaradas, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí con la reacción en vivo de la siguiente expansión. Pandaria, guacala. Pero estuvo bien. Fue lo último que jugué yo, Pandaria. De ahí en adelante dejé World of Warcraft durante mucho tiempo. Estuvo bien, la verdad estuvo bien. Pero no mi estilo de juego, la verdad. No me gusta lo chino, ni lo asiático, nada de eso, no me gusta. Bueno. Probando, 1, 2, 3, probando. Ok, todo está bien. Warlords of Rainer. World of Warcraft Legion. Blizzard, es tu última oportunidad de revivir esta franquicia, pero de la forma como debe de ser. Sorpréndeme. Si no digo nada en este momento o me quedo callado es porque no estoy sorprendido. Illidan, you are not prepared. Vamos a ver qué es lo que dicen todos de la expansión esta. Todos diciendo guácala. Sí, buh. Todos están diciendo buh. Ay. Worst expansion after Shadowlands. A ver, ¿cuántas expansiones son? Es 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 por 2, 16 años. Uy. Dame. Bueno. Sorpréndeme, Blizzard, por favor. Es tu última oportunidad, güey. A ver. Give me Alexstrasza, please. My fucking mommy dragon. Yup. Let's fucking go. Vámonos.
Hi everyone, I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazacostas, who is the game director of World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for WoW Classic. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know we're really excited to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first, I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year, and especially our community council. You've helped shape and influence the updates that we've done recently and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
I mean, really, for Shadowlands in particular, the story of the last 9 months or so of this expansion is all about the community, and it's shaped by what we've been hearing from them, and us realizing as a team that we just collectively needed to do a better job of making sure the community felt heard, and so that led us to the changes we made in 9.15, but also really re-examining some of the assumptions and foundations of World of Warcraft about things like character investment and mains versus alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role of friction in our systems. And I think 915 represented a step in the direction of letting players have more freedom to play World of Warcraft the way they want to play it. And we really built our Eternity's End content update from the ground up around those principles.
What are some of the things that the community said that influenced your decisions for Eternity's End?
Things like the method and pacing of acquisition of the Covenant Legendary item, tons of tuning, and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned in the course of 915 into Eternity's End and beyond.
So WoW Classic was really
Classic,
came about because of the community.
classic.
Yeah, they continue to help guide and support us as Classic evolves.
World of Warcraft has always been about the world and the players that inhabit it. And we are, in a lot of ways, curators and caretakers of that journey and of that experience. And so once this Classic community formed and grew, we had to listen to them.
It's this tide of listening to the community and paying attention to what is a good experience for our players now. And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery realm, which is a Season of Fresh Start Classic. And initially we were talking about it like it was going to be like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season. It'll be about a year long. And then when the community found out about it, we started seeing this upswell.
Yeah, the team just took that idea and ran with it and turned, what started out as a small community project into this Soul of Iron system that became a centerpiece of Season of Mastery and a whole new opt-in hardcore mode that we've seen communities built around. Lots of, thrilling victory and painful defeat.
5 hours. I made it 5 hours.
Yeah. And it continues, like Burning Crusade Classic. We wanted to balance the Paladin seals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So, influence the community, you've got another update, and pretty significant controversial change for this.
Yeah, cross-faction play.
Oh, no.
Cross-faction. You're breaking with a 17-year tradition.
It was not an easily made decision by any means, and I think this is another one of those areas where really we try to take to heart community feedback and requests and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly held desire and still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. I think players desire to play with their friends who might prefer a different faction, or to play with the faction that they more closely identify with, even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race, and having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
At the end of the day, the battle cry is for the Horde. It's not against the Alliance. It's not death to the Alliance. It's about pride in one's faction. And I think there's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the same choice we've seen the greatest heroes make time and time again.
I can't wait to do this. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that I never knew had a max level character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
And then, with these cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be diving into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands, a Season 4. Kind of a remix, a bit of a greatest hits, revisiting all of our raid zones across the expansion, bringing in some familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands.
Vamos a jugar con Horda y Alliance a la vez. Va a ser facciones mezcladas.
Really cool stuff for modern WoW players. I'm super excited about the gear upgrades that you're going to give me and the chance to go back and play some of those awesome raids.
There's a lot to explore. Very exciting.
For our next adventure in World of Warcraft, we're going to go back to Azeroth. We're going to a space with high fantasy. I mean, our fans of Azeroth for a long time. This has been kind of the foundation of much of the lore of WoW. So, without further ado, let's watch the cinematic.
Yay! Cinematic. Alex Traza, sal, Alex Traza. My mommy dragon. What the fuck? 10,000 años antes. Ay, güey.
The world has been sundered.
What the f... Oh, no me digas que...
Cries out in pain.
¿Neta?
We must go to its aid.
Oh, shit.
We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers. Let the land slumber, hidden, even from our own eyes.
Caray.
You will feel our return in the waking of the land. Then, you must light the beacon of Tearhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
What the fuck? ¿Ya en día presente o qué? Oh, ok. The fuck? Las islas de dragón, supongo, ¿no? Ahora, ¿quién va a ser nuestro archienemigo? What the fuck? Caray. Caray. Perdón. Vamos, Titán, tú puedes, Titán. Arréglalo. Yo quiero que salga mi... My Mommy Dragon. Alex Traza, ¿dónde está? No me digas que va a ser todo eso nada más. ¿Ya? Adiós. Bye bye. Mono que no me interesa saber quién es ese güey. Plup. ¡Oh, demonios! ¡No! Hazte humana, hazte humana, hazte humana. Cáligos. Hazte humana, hazte humana, hazte humana.
The world is healing, but her fate is yet uncertain.
Hazte humana, Alex Traza. Quiero ver tu diseño.
Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again. Here, the new age of dragons
Hasta Alex
shall begin.
Traza. Ah, no la pusieron, maldita sea. Fucking shit. Ah, demonios.
Dragons!
Dragons.
This is so cool.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it coming. Carefully kept secret. But seriously, I mean, what did we just see there?
The awakening of the Dragon Isles, the return of dragons, the dawn of a new age. Right, we've seen Reaccion searching for his father's legacy, searching for the Dragon Isles. There's a reason why he hasn't been able to find them until now.
The beacon going off, is that summoning the dragons?
It is removing the concealment that had hidden the Dragon Isles from the world, but also beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles?
Yes. The Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
Can you talk a little bit about how the team found ways to thread the dragon aspects throughout the environments?
The Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's the icy wastes of the Azure Span. And each one of those has a connection to a dragonflight that we've seen before. And it's going to be an amazing place for players to arrive at and explore.
All right, you know I'm going to ask.
Yes, okay, so...
Can I be a dragon?
Let's start getting into some features here and what dragonflight means for you as well as the place. So first off, yes, we have an all-new playable race.
Yes.
The Drakthir race.
What?
This is a
What the fuck?
race, but dragons in Warcraft have the ability to take on a humanoid form.
What classes
The
can
fuck
they
is that?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon. That doesn't quite fit any of our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class. And adding a new race to World of Warcraft, and not just an allied race, is something that we don't do lightly. But telling this expansion, this story, so focused around dragons, felt like the perfect time for it. So if you were a Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can only be Evokers, Evokers can only be Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker is that an Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects with the unique physical gifts that a Drakthir has. The ability to actually take flight and do an Onyxia-style strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side, knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
The Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either range DPS or healer. And they wear male armor. We figured, you know, with the new hero classes we've added over the years, we have enough melee, we don't need more of those.
What is the female? ¿Dónde está la mujer? La mona? La hembra? ¿Dónde está la hembra?
They're going to love you for that.
Exactly. This is definitely a
¿Dónde está
hero
la hembra?
class. And so that means that, you know, like the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58, and then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
Can you talk a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Drakthir character?
Basically anything and everything. You know, skin color, hair color,
Give me the
jewelry,
la...
tattoos,
What?
other adornments.
The
You can
fuck?
make this character the expression of your identity in Azeroth.
New zone,
Okay.
new class,
Yep.
new race. Well, tell us about some of the system updates or features.
So, of course, the new expansion brings with it, you know, new systems, new features. I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we moved on. And we've heard loud and clear from players that, you know, it's kind of a bummer to start off every new expansion by leaving a large part of your character behind, by leaving a large part of your progression behind.
Yep.
So this time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems. Things like our progression systems, in this case, our talent system is something that we want to completely revamp. We want to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
So with the talent revamp and the arrival of Classic, did you learn anything about how our talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond. A big piece of that was some of just the granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some specific way. But also, you know, that sense of hybridity that you could have. That's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids directly pitting player power throughput choices directly against
Órale.
those utility hybrid choices, because we know that there's always a right outcome there.
Órale, qué
And we
chingón.
also understand that there's a lot of strength in the flexibility of the modern talent system to let players
qué curada va a
customize their
estar
talents
curada
for
los
a particular
talentos.
encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here, what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So,
Yep, you're not alone in that. We've made a lot of incremental
Ah,
changes
caray.
and additions over the years.
Van a
but really,
cambiar la
this is a
interfaz.
revamp. This is an overhaul. And so we're excited to
interfaz
really
nueva.
modernize the look and feel while staying true to the origins of World of Warcraft. Now, at the same time, we're not looking to take away the sort of power user customization there.
hell?
Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much better default out-of-the-box experience for all players, new and old alike.
and can I reduce elements, remove elements, if I want to explore the world and see the beauty of Azeroth?
When it comes to specific elements, as much as possible, we want to let players choose what to show, what to
no
hide,
estoy
so
de
that
acuerdo
they can
con ese
control it
cambio, la
themselves.
verdad.
You mentioned professions. I have a critical question about this.
Go on.
Can I
Profesiones.
wear a chef's hat?
Yeah, I knew it.
¿Qué?
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a crafter. And so if you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand.
Está medio raro la
with the
interfaz,
community.
la verdad. No
One of the
está tan
pieces
acá.
that we want to do to support that is a new work order system to have a bit more convenience than just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a commission, and a skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your dreams.
I think we left out one thing, though. You can be a Drakthir, go to Dragon Isles. Can I have a dragon?
What's the fantasy of dragons if not soaring over the lands?
Oh.
And so we're really excited to introduce a feature that we're calling dragon riding. It's
Oh.
dynamic with everything from
Vamos a volar con
momentum to
dragones.
dive bombs,
Ah.
the ability
Oh.
to just sort of build that speed up
Órale.
and feel the world rushing past you in a way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
So this is a skill you learn over time, right? To become an
No.
awesome dragon
No.
rider?
Yes, you'll be able to
Oh,
upgrade
fucking
aspects of your flight, but you will have this new form of flight from the start. And the Dragon Companion that you have is, of course, very thoroughly customizable, which is a new thing for us for mounts.
Ahora
This is
se
not
puede
just
cambiar la
a generic dragon that everyone has, but
apariencia
a drake
del
that is
dragón.
yours. What do you want its scales to look like,
okay.
horns, the shape of its head, other attachments, armor pieces, and more. Take your pick.
This is so cool.
So the Dragonflight expansion is going to see players leveling to 70, going to the all-new continent
70.
of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones,
5
4
zonas,
standard leveling zones, and a new
4
starter zone for our Drakthir class,
Okay.
as well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system,
Okay.
an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions with more depth than
¿Ya?
ever before.
¿Fue todo?
Also getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of dragon riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own mount so that
Yeah.
you can fly in a sense from the
¿Fue
start.
todo?
And of course, as with any new expansion, we have a new set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha that will be starting up in the future.
Check out our website for more information
Yeah,
and keep an eye
but
out for those opt-in signups if you want to help us test out Dragonflight and give us even more feedback to make it better.
We do have a deep dive that
Más o
follows this,
menos.
so please stay around. Classic players, we haven't forgotten about you.
Classic.
You could probably
Classic.
guess where we're going to go next.
Rough Delishki.
One of the all-time
Rough
favorite
Delishki.
expansions for
Rough
World of
Delishki.
Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
Rough Delishki. What the hell?
Forgotten. Did you think we had just begun? Not my king yet.
Can't let you do this.
My son,
The day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name
Arthas.
Arthas.
The fucking Lich King.
My days have come to an end. You shall be king.
Oh, demonios. 22, ok. ¿Cuándo? World of the Lich King Classic. Nice.
It's just incredible, isn't it? Every time I see the cinematic, I get chills. No pun intended, I get chills. As you saw, Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming this year. It brings back so many memories. When you see that cinematic, what do you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk about undead frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the source? That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, it was such an incredible moment. He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, did it. So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know, with this expansion, you will, in pre-patch, be able to play the Death Knight. They will start at level 55. You don't have to have a high-level character to make a Death Knight. So everyone will be able to make one.
Qué bueno, qué bueno.
Todos
Todos pueden hacerse un Death Knight sin restricción.
And there are so many zones and areas to explore in Northrend, and I want us to talk about some of our favorites. So for me, Grizzly Hills has a very special place in my heart. The music was some of the best I've experienced in World of Warcraft.
I still make my way all the way up to Storm Peaks to try and find the time-lost Protodrake and have yet to get it.
I've got to say Dragonblight. The wide open nature of the zone, Wormrest Temple in the center of it, it's an unforgettable expansion as both a developer and a player and kind of making that transition from one to the other.
Now let's talk about some changes. So one thing we looked at is Dungeon Finder, and it feels like how we envision Classic, Dungeon Finder is not a good fit for our community.
That was kind of the first step that may have eroded some of that social fabric. Now, as people have gone through the experience of going back to vanilla, rebuilding those groups, relying on each other, not wanting necessarily a random participant just to show up and then leave.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
But today, you can do that in Shadowlands. You'll be able to do that in Dragonflight. It's a self-selected group of people who specifically want that different experience.
Yes.
Let's make sure that's what we continue to give them.
That leads right into arena teams in Burning Crusade Classic. So we listen to the community and we remove that because individual rating is preferable and a better experience for them than arena teams. Also, with Wrath of the Lich King, Barbershop, which allows you to customize your character. We're going to be adding a few more options that were not existing when Wrath launched. But also there's another side of this where we are not going to charge a real money fee. It was a paid character customization fee, right?
Yeah.
It seems the right thing to do that just be available in-game for gold and we add more options to it, right?
It's sort of like spell batching in a sense. There's a lot of technical advancements, and it's not about the philosophy of what makes Classic classic and what brings people together. It's just what's the better experience, and let's not artificially restrict something that we can provide a better version of just for the sake of nostalgia. And we're happy to say this is one of those cases.
So, Wrath, the level cap's being increased to level 80, so we'll be introducing a level 70 boost so that players who want to or just explore Northrend right away will be able to do that. You can't apply it to a Death Knight, but you will be able to use it otherwise. And of course, we have Inscription, a whole new profession, so we're really excited about that. Yeah, and as we continue this road to Wrath, we're going to be looking to getting a lot more feedback on beta, and we'll make changes as we need to.
Such an exciting time to be playing World of Warcraft. We have the return of the Wrath of the Lich King for Classic fans and taking us somewhere new with Dragonflight. We're so excited to be able to bring these adventures to you. Don't forget, there's a deep dive on Dragonflight where you're going to get a lot more information. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll see you in Azeroth.
And we'll see you in Northrend.
Fue todo.
And in the Dragon Isles.
Whatever. Ya, fue todo.
Hi there. Welcome to the Dragonflight Deep Dive. I'm Steve Denuser.
And I'm Taryn Gregory. Starting it off here, we're going to talk about the setting and the story of Dragonflight.
We've got this great expansion, exciting pre-render trailer that everyone just watched. So let's talk about the setting for Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles.
Dragon Isles have been known for a long time in Warcraft history as a mysterious place where the dragons came from long ago, but we never knew much more than that.
We're going to this place that is kind of the broodlands of all the Dragonflights, the place where they nested, where they built their civilization. The Dragon Isles was the center of the Dragon's kingdom when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. But when the Legion invaded for that War of the Ancients, that sundering that resulted from the explosion of the Well of Eternity, broke the world.
Literal sundering of the continents of Azeroth.
And because of the breaking of the world, that magic kind of drained away and the land went dormant. So they had to leave the Dragon Isles behind. And as we saw in the pre-render, they left behind some Titan Watchers to look over the land. And when someday they hoped that elemental energy would resurge once again and draw the dragons home, reestablish their kingdom.
And that's when the message goes out to the flights and they feel it in their bones.
Now it's the time for the sky to light up with the colors of the aspects once again, and for Alex Straza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away, and some very old threats have awakened as well.
We're looking into the culture of dragons as they exist in Warcraft.
Dragons, as we know them today, were very different in the early past, the early history of Azeroth. They were much more primitive, much more savage, what we now know as proto-dragons.
And then some of the dragons were empowered to become the aspects. The green flight, red flight, blue flight, bronze flight, black flight, each with unique powers, each with the ability to protect the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic power appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without.
Dragons used that power both for good, in the case of most of the aspects, but also for nefarious reasons, in the case of the Black Dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would become Deathwing.
And what we will find in Dragonflight is that some of these ancient divisions run deep. And so it begs the question, where do we go from here? If this is an opportunity to reclaim their legacy, to be the protectors, as the cinematic mentioned, that they once were.
To do that, they're going to need the help of our heroes, our players, to come to the Dragon Isles with them and face some of these reawakening challenges, because it's not just that this land is peacefully waiting for the dragons to return and reclaim it. There's those old enemies that have awakened as well.
Yeah.
One of those being a race of kind of elemental half-giants, the Jarradin.
The Dragon Isles isn't just populated by dragons or just by the Jarradin. There's also many other occupants here in the Dragon Isles that have been here either just recently or for a while, including a fan favorite coming back, the Tuskar.
That's going to be awesome. We've got other cultures there as well in the Dragon Isles. We're going to find out about a civilization of centaurs that predates the ones that arose on Kalimdor much later.
And some of our favorite characters that we've seen over the last few expansions, such as Reaccion.
And whether he's ready to step up into a leadership role, or if there are other alternatives out there that would be better suited to the job of being the aspect of the Black Dragonfly.
I think one thing the players are going to be really excited about this expansion is the new playable race, the Drakthir.
That's right.
And this is something that Neltharion, before he was Deathwing, before he went full crazy world dragon, that he put into motion?
Neltharion saw those primalists that were kind of breaking away from the aspects and what they wanted. And so, in those first experiments, he took the essence of dragons, their strength, their nobility, their wisdom, and he combined it with that scrappiness, that adaptability that the mortal races had. And he wanted to use that to create the ideal soldier in his mind, the Drakthir. Exploration is really one of the key themes of this expansion. We're going to be going to this ancient place that the dragons left behind long ago. So we've made these huge zones with all kinds of places to delve into and find little treasures and little secrets tucked away. It's going to be a lot of fun for players to be exploring these landscapes.
And there's so much architectural history and how clearly aspirational was the kingdom of the dragons and how it lost so much. And the themes of trying to return to that, to try to find your legacy, to try to figure out who you were before everything went awry. But there's questions, thematic questions of What does it mean to be true to your legacy? Are we going to repeat the mistakes of the past?
The dragons have had to learn those lessons just like the mortal kingdoms have had to. And I think that's one of the reasons why the dragons see this now as the time that they have to return and they have to step up once again as protectors of Azeroth. We're helping the dragons because the dragons have helped us in the past too. So by using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look, upon the Dragon Isles and all of its visual splendor, I get so excited for the prospect of a truly Azerothian adventure alongside Calicos, along with Rathian, Ebonhorn, with Ysera's daughter Marithra, as each one of them is trying to find their own flight. I am taken by the exploration and the potential for adventure and just new horizons within this world.
There's going to be old stories from that time past, that history that only the dragons knew for the longest time. We're going to be able to explore that.
It really feels like just a breath of fresh air.
So now we're going to turn things over to some of our colleagues who will take you on that deep dive into the locations and the features of Dragonflight.
Hello, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Gary.
And we're part of the teams that are building the first two zones that you'll encounter in the Dragon Isles, the Waking Shore and the Onaran Plains. The very first zone in Dragonflight you're going to come to is the Waking Shores. It's wild, untamed land. It's waking up around you too, and the elements are just going crazy.
The art team again has hit it out of the park.
You'll see like a lava mountain flowing in through the beach, giant proto-dragons swooping down, gobbling up members of your expedition.
We have such rife opportunities to show elementals rising up because of the crazy magic that's flying around.
The one of the things I love is just how you get to the Dragon Isles, right? So you're going to get on your boat in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the first thing you do is sail between like the dragon ruin architectures. The boats come right alongside each other. You can jump from one boat to the other and just start causing havoc on the other faction's boat.
For those who love PvP, this is a great opportunity for War Mode.
Sure. It's free for all out there. It's going to be great. What? But it's okay. There's an innkeeper on the beach, so that if you're in that situation and you don't want to be in War Mode anymore, you can just hop out right there.
The Reliquary and the Explorers League are working together.
The Horde and Alliance are sending an expedition together. It's not the military, it's not the soldiers. This is the scientists, the settlers, exploring this new land. So it's a lot more optimistic tone.
One of my favorite things about the Waking Shores is the Red Dragonflight, led by Queen Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder. They have the mandate of nurturing and protecting all life, which means Horde and Alliance, Gorloks, trolls, everybody. So they take that duty seriously. When the Horde and the Alliance come to the Waking Shores, they want to be there to help guide the people through the new land and welcome them. But they're not the only one in the Waking Shores.
We have the ancestral home of the Black Dragonflight there too, which has fallen on tough times since Deathwing's descent. And so Rathian's coming over to the Isles with us, and he's going to try and come to terms with the state of the Dragonflight, which is a few loyal Draconids and Dragon Spawn trying to hold their ground. What can the future of the Dragonflight be if it's just Rathian? Because it's not just the dragons that are coming back to the Dragon Isles, but also their longtime rival, the Jarden.
I love the Jarden so much. They're half giants that wield the power of magma. And when the Waking Shores and the Dragon Isles went to slumber, they also slumbered. They're back now, and they are ready to raise chaos.
Yeah, they're massive. They're riding giant lava mammoths, parading around, just stomping on your face.
And they were the enemies of the Dragonflight for so long. They fought against the Red Dragonflight, hunted dragons down, and they're really taking this opportunity to rise up. As the Red Dragonflight have the mandate of nurturing life, they don't want to just stomp out the Jarden completely, but they want to make sure that they don't have the power to affect those around them negatively, to make sure they don't go on a rampage and destroy the ecosystem that has been created here.
And so those are awesome things in the Waking Shore, but Steph, there really is only one right answer for the best thing in Waking Shores, right?
What?
This is true. Ducks.
We finally have those webbed feet hooligans in our game. We cracked the technology.
They can figure it out. They can fly.
You should be proud.
Thank you.
It's gonna be awesome.
The Onaran Plains come right after the Waking Shores. It's so breathtaking at first glance.
The Onaran Plains are big, wide open plains. And the player is going to be constricted a little bit, and then you see this big contrast of a zone. We don't always get that opportunity, that cinematic moment where the player can have a framed view when they see this area.
Come out and you got that postcard shot of the plains. And then you see this giant fire proto-dragon breathing fire, and a herd of centaur like harpoon down the proto-dragon and crash into the ground. And the first thing you get to do is go help them kill the proto-dragon. Like, how cool is that?
Who is Onara?
Onara is the wild god of the wind. And she's appeared before as like this big spirit eagle. She's the one who guided the centaur to the Dragon Isles many, many years ago. She blessed them, took their caravan across, and then showed them the plains.
Our fun at the beginning of this expansion was exploring the culture of the centaur.
The centaur are these mighty, awesome hunters that, back when they first came to the Dragon Isles, they fought the green dragons all day long. Eventually, they realized that we're strong, you're strong, maybe we should stop decimating each other's people. We'll make peace, we'll make an agreement. You guys hang out in the groves, and the centaur will hang out in the plains. But now, the dragons have been gone for 10,000 years. And the centaur have come so far since then. And they've been here, and they've been existing and developing their culture. They all came over as one clan, led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, and they founded a new life here. So if you want to get across, you have to follow their rules and their traditions. You have to earn their trust. You are the first outsiders to come in generations upon generations. The centaur might rule the open plains, but the green dragons make their home in the groves. And those groves are absolutely gorgeous.
And how great a job it is that we have where I can take all of this beautiful artwork and build these beautiful fantasy groves, high fantasy. We want to do lots of things with an open plain, and we want to be creative with that. But we're restraining ourselves by letting the zone sing, letting the horizon tell the story. We certainly couldn't have done that in Vanilla WoW.
No, definitely not. The zones are so big, and you can see so far, especially in Onaran Plains. So we talked to the engineers, and we actually increased that distance.
It spurs you on to want to adventure and look through the zone and explore everything.
The interesting thing for me is we have all these conflicts with the dragonflights. There's missing dragons, there's battles, there's so much crazy stuff happening, but that's not really all we're doing. There's so much extra fun activities for people to do. And the greatest thing is that you need to figure out exactly what's going on and help solve all the problems that are just sprouting up everywhere.
We're just really excited to tell a story that's grounded in Azeroth and exploration. There's so much more to talk about. But now, we're going to have some folks talking about the next two zones that players are going to experience in the Dragon Isles.
Siguientes dos zonas. Azurispam del Rasus.
Hello everyone, my name is Kate.
I'm Christy.
I'm Kate.
I'm Sean. We're going to talk today about Valdrassus and the Azure Span. So Azure Span is going to be the third zone that players adventure through, and it's one of our biggest zones that we've done in the Dragonflight, maybe even to date.
We knew it was going to be like the largest visual elevation change, and it really started with this great concept art. When we first were taking a look at the design, we kept coming back to one of our favorite Wrath zones, which was Grizzly Hills. And we really wanted to take that, but wowify it more. And I don't know if you've ever been up to the Bay Area, but in the morning, that coastal fog comes in and dips down into the redwoods and that sun shines through. That's really what we wanted to encapsulate with this forest. And not only we have redwoods, but we've got all different types of trees. Eventually, it'll break open into this wide open tundra that's just golden and red, and you'll reach up to another level of elevation where you get to see the snow. The majority of the zone is covered in snow and ice. We have giant frozen waterfalls, ice rivers as far as the eye can see. And Sean, I know in the forest, we can expect our first creatures.
We have a small group that lives there called the Gnolls. These Gnolls are all throughout the forest and Azure Span. They've made this their home. Some Gnolls with strange magic that we're going to find out what exactly that's about. Snow Gnolls, or as I call them, the Snolls, up in the winter area. And then some regular Gnolls that are just going to be around the forest area. So then we go into the big open tundra where we meet our second group, the Tuskar.
It's going to be really neat to explore their culture a lot more.
And those kids are adorable. I absolutely love the Tuskar. Honestly, all my downtime's probably just me hanging out with the Tuskar.
So it's been a little while since we've seen them. We remember the Tuskar from Wrath of the Lich King. They're also getting a nice, cool up-res for their models, along with expanding their culture. So there are going to be male Tuskar, female Tuskar, Tuskar kids. So we're going to fight alongside them, which includes help from a certain group of dragons, the blue dragons. We're going to follow the story of Caligos our blue dragon buddy from the Kirin tour, and he's going to be adventuring into Sindragos's archives. It's a giant zone. There's a lot of surprises. When we're done there, we head over to Aldraz's.
Aldraz's. It's really incredible because you will be going through some of the previous zones and seeing a lot of ruins for the dragon buildings. But when you get to Thaldraz's, everything is perfectly intact. It's beautiful. It's pristine. It is the seat of power for all 5 dragon flights and home of the dragons. It feels that way with the huge vertical mountains. We've got these great cave systems where you may end up finding little dragon hordes.
My favorite dragonflight right now is the Bronze. They've got a really cool area in Thaldraz's, and their magic is time. There's so many cool story hooks that we could dig into there. There's so many cool gameplay options. And we have a little bit of an adventure for players. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
We really wanted it to feel like their old stomping grounds. One of the really cool features is going to be the main city and player hub for this expansion, Valdraken. It is a culmination of all of the dragons' efforts to put together what a city would look like. So we ended up having a bunch of really fun small vignettes where you will see that the blue dragonflight is hosting a public library, and the red and green dragonflights both have their own separate gardens. We'll also have some convenience services for players, including an auction house in the city, which will be really nice if you're looking for more exotic wares. The thing that really sold me on Aldraz's was the initial concept art we got of Tierhold.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And this is a 10,000-year-old Titan technological marvel. Tierhold has these awesome aqueducts that actually come out from the structure all the way to the city across the valley. And in the cinematic, there's just this amazing shot where you see Alexstrasza swoop under one of them, and there's splashes of water cresting across her wings.
Sí, pero no salió
su
diseño humano. Quería verla humana, malditos. Quería verla humana.
So much history.
Pendejos.
Tierhold was built by Tyr. He was a Titankeeper back in the day who helped the Aspects fight Galakrond. And when they settled on the Dragon Isles, he built this facility. And even though Tyr's gone, the dragons have held him in reverence. But that was 10,000 years ago, and they've let the Titans maintain the place. An incredible amount of history has happened since then. Flights have been nearly wiped out. There have been invasions, betrayals. Aspects have died. And these are the kind of things that leave marks on a society. So now they're all back here, and they're all here together.
As we were designing the zone and the city itself, we're trying to figure out, how do we tell those stories at the same time as making sure that this is a really convenient place for players to go and, go shopping, as they tend to do. So much adventuring happening on the Dragon Isles.
It's so cool.
As a player, you probably don't have your own dragon wings. You are going to learn the art of dragon riding.
It's so vertical, and I'm just excited to dive off the tops of towers and swoop under things.
It's actually one of the things that we're about to learn about next.
Hi, I'm Jake.
I'm Andy.
I'm Colleen. And I'm Graham. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Dracthyr Evoker, our new race and class coming in Dragonflight. We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also dragon riding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles. We knew with a dragon-themed expansion, we wanted to let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alexstrasza size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake. Okay. I know.
Fine.
But a draconic humanoid. So the Dracthyr, created by Neltharion.
And like our other hero classes, you get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the class they can be. What's unique about it is because the Dracthyr are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 dragon flights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect. This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast. You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the Dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell before landing on your enemies and exploding and hopefully burning them.
I'll take that one.
Getting that vibe across that they use all 5 was really important to us, but we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre. whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's a healer spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your green and your bronze magics. So your green is going to be evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells. And then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel very powerful, we really wanted the player to have a physical connection to the cast. We have a new type of spell called Empower, where when you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell. The longer you charge it up, it might do more damage or hit more targets depending on the spell, but it gives you this really physical connection and control that's new for World of Warcraft and I think is feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you, Andy. Your team.
Love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around the battlefield and cast while you're flying.
Raining fire and death from above. It's great.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Well, we talk about dragons breathing fire, but you know what's actually fire?
What's actually
These
fire?
customizations.
Oh my goodness.
But no, they're really
they're
cool.
awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your humanoid form. And
Humanoid.
the customization options for both of them are
¿Es la humana?
Very good.
What about color? Just tell me you
tell us
can
about the
change
color. You can do a lot of matching. So your visage form can have scales that are the same color as your Drakthir form.
But my favorite, super favorite part of customization for the visage form, hair.
Yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
Yeah.
The tech is here.
We finally did it.
As players make their way through each of the areas of the Dragon Isles, they'll partner up with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. You'll notice I did not say flying, because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it does.
And we're talking about something new called dragon riding.
And as the players are honing their dragon riding skills, they're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel of the drakes.
We're aiming to shake up movement with this new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces like momentum and gravity.
We knew that for Dragonflight, we were going to have the opportunity to show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft. And so we wanted to come up with a movement system that would add that sense of physics, weight, and gravity, like you were mentioning. We knew it was going to take a huge team effort, not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move through the air in ways that you haven't before. And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that. So for example, when you start hitting, maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall kind of immersion and sense of reality.
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns, tails, elusive Dragon Isle Drake armor. Use their momentum well, can reach higher and higher heights and bring on new, more difficult challenges.
We just have so many new, gorgeous options to choose from, and I'm just so excited for all of them.
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get into game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. It's gonna be great.
Next up, you're going to hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in Dragonflight.
Los talentos. Huge user interface. Este es lo bueno. Esto es lo chingón.
Hello, my name is Brian.
I'm Crash.
I'm Jay.
And I'm
What
Laura.
the fuck?
We are very excited to share you're finally revamping the WoW HUD UI.
And it is also time for a major revamp to
¿Y
talents
este
and
güey qué?
specializations.
I have a big question for the group. How long do you think
the
it
fuck?
took for us to finally revamp the WoW HUD?
My guess is like 15 years.
Close. 18 years.
18 years.
18 years.
Wow.
You know, technology has changed a lot since we made the UI back in 2004. Now you have like bigger monitors, and we have better dev tools to work with. So it makes sense to have the revamp right now. Also, if you look at the game today, the art evolved beautifully over the years. And if you look at the HUD looks like it got frozen time.
So when we approached this, we wanted to create
a layout experience that players could customize, move things around, adjust it to fit their needs.
Add-ons today, they do a lot for player customization.
The downside is that not everybody uses them. It's about time that everybody has the opportunity to use them, that they become a part of the base UI.
Yeah, and we are working very closely with our user research team to make sure we are hitting the goals that our player needs.
It allowed us to add new functionality, to improve accessibility in a lot of areas, and on top of that, we are going to be improving the art.
Yeah, so the art update, it's a big part of this project. The UI that we have today has a lot of charm and personality, and players have been using that for 18 years. So with that in mind, we want to respect the players who really like the current UI, but do a modern take to it, removing the clutter and giving more visibility for your gameplay. So the new minimap, it looks bigger, and the health bar is also much bigger. If you look at the action bars and the bottom menus, they have less health frames, and you can really open up your gameplay, so you don't have a lot of your UI in front of you. And of course, we want to find iconic pieces from the current HUD, but we want to bring it back in a nice way. So we for sure updating the Griffins. They look so nice now. And the Horde, don't worry, we got you. We're going to have your version as well. So let's talk about the edit mode.
We are putting a mode in that will let players move various HUD elements around on the screen.
So I'm able to move the mini-map, say, from the right corner all the way over to the left corner. If I want to bring my action bars from the bottom and kind of put them more in the center by my character, those are all things that I'll be able to do.
Absolutely. And each of those different components will have various sets of options that you'll be able to work with. They'll be able to save it, edit it, copy it, name it. Also, it'll remember which spec you're in. So if you're someone who jumps around a lot,
si se dan cuenta, el rediseño de la interfase está muy chiquita y muy simplificada. Digamos que todas las habilidades están muy extremadamente simplificadas. Ya no necesitas tantas habilidades para poder tener tantas barras.
How can we have players have more choice over what their character has? As you level up, we give you a new spell or a new ability, something that kind of makes you stronger.
Diciendo,
but it's determined by the designers. We decide the order. Yeah, we started looking for a system that would give players a much wider set of options. And after looking at all those things, what we really returned back to was the idea of trees. But it's actually two trees. We have a class tree that offer different class utility, and then we have a spec tree that is focused on performing your role, whether that's damage, tank, or healing.
Can I just jump in and say that I personally am super excited about having trees come back. There's a big nostalgia hit for me.
As we said, we have these two trees because we feel like picking a specialization is a really important part of your World of Warcraft character now. And so we want to make sure that when you choose that, it kind of affects the tree in some way.
Yeah, as soon as you open your talent tree, you'll see something new. The class side will have some abilities filled out for free, just kind of starting you off in that spec you've chosen, but then you'll have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to that spec or role, or it could be something from elsewhere in the class.
There's a lot of things that we can do here, and part of that is encouraging players to perhaps make combinations that they've never really been able to see in the game before. This is an opportunity to put a lot more art and fantasy in the actual talent UI itself.
You have seen that a lot through most recent expansions, but not the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you to be able to make a lot of changes at a lot of times and not necessarily have to commit. The power really is coming back to the player. It's not something we want people to feel locked into, and so one of the things that we'll be preserving is the ability to change these talents at the same kind of frequency that you do now.
Yeah, the old school players, when you see trees this time, just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match and figure out what I think is the best for both of those.
And that's a process we want to make really fluid. So we're building a save load feature to let you create your build, name it, save it, and then load it up very quickly and freely.
Talents were really about the breadth of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when are they at their coolest? Players can hold the building blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And it's just an early preview of the things we've been doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them, and please reach out to us and let us know your thoughts on them. And next up, we're going to talk about professions in Dragonflight.
Professions.
Hi, I'm Joanna.
And I'm Eric, and we're going to talk about our plans for professions in Dragonflight. Professions have been a staple of World of Warcraft forever, and they've seen lots of really cool incremental updates over their life. But for Dragonflight, we want to do something a bit different. We really want to rethink professions and figure out how to make them part of your identity as a player, if that's what you want.
We really want to make sure that professions feel fun and relevant across all levels of gameplay.
That brings us to our first update, something that we're calling crafting orders. If you want to have something crafted for you, but you don't have the skill or the right profession to do it for yourself, you can have it crafted through a crafting order. You can basically browse any of the recipes that can be crafted, pick the one you want for yourself, and then you include some or all of the reagents needed for the recipe, including ones that only you can get your hands on. You can find someone in person to do it right in front of you for you, or you can also go to an NPC and using an auction house-like interface, send the order out. If you're doing this, you can pick, do you want to send the order to anyone, sort of a public order, or do you want to only send it to your guild, or to a specific other player? Maybe it's a friend who you know will be able to craft the item really well for you.
If you are really dedicated to your craft, you're going to be the best at what you do.
One of the coolest things about this is the item you had crafted can also be soul-bound. In the past, you could only get your hands on crafted soul-bound items by having that profession yourself. Now anyone can have them crafted for them, which is really neat and really expands the number of items that we can provide that are really powerful because everyone can have them crafted.
Fíjate que cuando estaba hablando el güey ese, ¿cómo se llama ese cabrón? Fíjate que en el momento en que estaba hablando el transvesti, el que andaba, el vato ese que era el vato transvesti, el vato que estaba hablando hace ratito en Twitch, no podían escribir todas las personas. Eran puras emociones, digo, eran puros emotes. Los acaban de censurar a las personas para que no hicieran ningún comentario mientras el vato estaba platicando. Ya cuando se acabó esa sección, ya le quitaron la restricción. No manches, se pasan de lanza.
And this is another sort of major input into quality. Probably the biggest source of your ability to craft items at a higher quality is through crafting specializations. We've had crafting specializations in the past, as far back as original World of Warcraft. With Dragonflight, you can go out and earn specialization points in a whole bunch of different ways. So maybe you find an old book on a bookshelf in a ruin somewhere, or a hermit in a cave who can teach you a little bit about your profession. So let's say you're a blacksmith, and you might decide that first you want to become an armor smith. And the more points you spend in armor smithing, the better you're going to get at crafting all armor.
This also means that if you specialize one way, other people in your guild may specialize in a completely different path. So this means that your guild could have several top blacksmiths and everybody is providing something unique and valuable to the team, which is really cool.
Now that reminds me of another update. We're actually adding crafting tables to all the different crafting professions. We're going to take those and we're going to put them all in the main city of Valdrakken. And you're going to go in there and you're going to get to see all the different players crafting their items at their cool crafting tables.
Yeah, it means you're going to walk into the city and you're going to see like all these alchemists huddled over here, and you're going to see all these blacksmiths over by the forge. There will be other players filling orders or grabbing orders. It's going to be a whole new crafting area that's going to make you feel really part of the world.
It just seems like a much more lively.
Un güey estaba comentando en el chat que dónde está toda la gente negra que está trabajando en Blizzard.
And when you go to say mine a node, you're actually going to just switch into that gear. It's going to be really great.
You're not going to have to carry that stuff around in your backpack anymore. There's actually going to be dedicated slots for each of your pieces of gear. But I'm a numbers guy. I love progressing. All pieces of profession gear will have those special stats that we mentioned before on them. And as you get your hands on better versions of the gear, it's really going to help you get better at your profession.
I can't wait.
Thank you for tuning in to the Dragonflight Deep Dive.
You've heard a lot about the content and changes coming in Dragonflight, and we've got a lot more in store for you in the coming months.
Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
Ya fue todo. Ya fue todo. That's it. That's fucking it. Oh shit. Ya se acabó. Pues sí. Desafortunadamente sí fue bastante decepcionante un poco. bueno, para mí ha sido bastante decepcionante en que Alexstrasza no estaba en la cinemática en forma de humana. Nada más estaba en forma de dragón. Yo quería ver su diseño, el diseño de ella. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está el diseño de Alexstrasza? Diseño de humana de Alexstrasza, ¿dónde quedó? Ay. Blizzard, la regaste, cabrón. La verdad la regaste. Yo que soy extremadamente fan de mi waifu Alexstrasza y no pusiste en la cinemática a ella en forma humana, cabrón. Es lo que yo estaba esperando, lo que yo quería ver, la cinemática de ella, pero no en forma de dragón. Oh shit. No. Híjole. Ay. Tenías una verdadera oportunidad y la echaste a perder, pinche Blizzard, güey. Ok, dejémonos de la negatividad ahorita, de lo que acabo de ver. Vamos a las cosas que me emocionaron, ¿ok? A ver. Vamos a platicar acerca de la cinemática. La cinemática. ¿Ya la habrán puesto? Deja ver si la subieron de nuevo. Déjalo reviso. A ver. Deja ver si está la cinemática de Dragonflight. A ver, ahí va. Déjalo vuelvo a ver. Ok. Ok. Muy bien. Eso fue lo que más me sorprendió a mí cuando decía 10.000 años antes. Dije, ay güey. Me imagino que eso fue cuando explotó Azeroth, ¿no? Cuando estaba el agua anteriormente. Es cuando estaba el Burning Legion entrando por primera vez. Ok. Eso sí lo entendí muy bien. Y luego los pinches titanes esos que andaban salvaguardando la isla. Me imagino que hicieron proteger el lugar por la misma razón de que no vayan a invadir los pinches Burning Legion ahí, ¿no? En primer lugar. Ok. Me gustó y me sorprendió cuando empezó la cinemática a comenzar así, que decía 10.000 años antes. Dije, ay güey, va a ser en el momento en cuando la primera vez que llegó el Burning Legion al mundo de Azeroth. Pero yo pensé que iban a poner el momento en cuando explotó el mundo, que se dividió pues en varios continentes. Eso fue lo que me emocionó un poco. Pero cuando vi el agua dije, ah caray. Y cuando vi el horizonte dije, no, pues entonces no es ahí. Entonces dije, pues me imagino que es la isla de los dragones. Y dije, ok. Pues, escondieron la isla ahí. Ok. Pero eso fue lo principal que a mí me captó. Y dije, oh, qué curada. Pensé que iba a ser en ese momento cuando llegó el Burning Legion a Azeroth, pero no estaban platicando sobre estaban mostrando la isla de los dragones que la estaban escondiendo, ok. Eso fue lo que me sorprendió al principio cuando estaban dando la rehistoria anterior de los 10.000 años anteriores del láser. Y a mí no... si tú quieres introducir a un personaje, este compa que está ahí, el Watcher, el guardián de las islas, de los titanes, de los guardianes, los Watchers, no me captó, así como que no le sentí mucho cariño al mono al titán. Dije, ok, está cuidando está enguardeciendo el instrumento para proteger la isla, ¿no? Casi no me captó mucho el personaje de él, como decir, como que no me quedé preguntando, quién es él, qué es lo que hace, o cómo se llama, o cosas así. No reconocí mucho al mono al guardián. Pero donde me agarró de curva el momento fue cuando este güey iba cayendo de arriba. Dije, ya, adiós. Y cuando sale el extra dije, ¡yay! Ya salió la dragona. Es lo que quería yo ver al extra. Pero lo peor de todo es que no salen de forma humana todos los pinches dragones, ni menos a la que yo quería ver. Ay. No se hizo humana la pinche Alexstrasza, güey. Yo, puta madre. Es lo que quería yo. Es lo que estaba esperando en todas estas 24 horas. Ver una cinemática de ella. Pero en forma humana. Yo, hazte humana, maldita sea, hazte humana. Y no se hizo. No se cambió. Además ahí el salvó, ya fue todo y se acabó. Y yo, puta madre. Chingada madre, es en serio. Perdiste la oportunidad, Blizzard, de mostrarme a la extraza, maldición. Se pasan. Hijo de su puta madre, en serio. Ay, ¿por qué hicieron esto, cabrón? No. Empezaste bien cuando salvaste al titán y todo, pero no saliste al extraza en forma humana. Yo quería verla bien, su diseño relanzado, maldición. ¿Por qué demonios? Qué pinche coraje, cabrón. Fucking shit, en serio. Qué puto coraje, güey. Ay. Bueno, ¿dónde está no sé si está aquí el stream de ellos? Deja veo. Un slide. Con 6 minutos con 26. Vamos a platicar de la nueva clase que se llama Draktyr y es un evoker en Dragon Riding. Ok. Más o menos estaba... Yo quería, cuando estaba viendo la presentación de la nueva clase, al principio cuando salió la raza, yo me saqué de onda, dije, what the hell, o sea, que están mostrando una raza. Cuando yo observé a esta raza dije, güey, pues un dragón, pues sí, los dragones, pero no me imaginaba que también se podían convertir en forma humana. Son como entre una combinación de híbrido de humano con dragón. Y yo esperaba que saliera la versión femenina, ¿no? De la clase, digo, de la raza. Pues yo la verdad no estoy tan sorprendido acerca de la nueva clase y raza. Me agarró un poquito de lado. Dije, está bien, los dragones, ¿no? No puede ser como los otros aspectos que están realmente muy gigantescos. O sea, son de forma híbrida humana, pues, el tamaño. Y pues está bien, o sea, está aceptable. Lo bueno que le hicieron healer o puede ser de daño o curador o healer o DPS. Pero tanque no pueden ser tanques. Ok. Pues la reacción total de todo este anuncio fue muy corta. No hablaron muchas cosas. Hablaron muy poco contenido. Eso es lo que veo, lo que vi. Hablaron mucho sobre las zonas. La modificación de la interfase. La modificación de los talentos. Lo de los talentos sí está chingón. Sí lo hicieron bien. Hicieron los talentos más o menos como los viejitos, yo creo, ¿no? Supongo. Como para ponerle los puntuajes. Un talento más largo, pues ya. Porque ahorita está muy simplificado los talentos. Está extremadamente simplificado. Sobre la nueva raza, pues sí, es aceptable. Ahora sí puedo ya puedo crear una humana estilo Alexstrasza, pero el diseño de la humana no me captó. Lo vi como que muy genérico. Lo sentí muy genérico. A ver, dejar si ponen a uno rojo. Este es verde, morado. Pues sí, prácticamente como los humanos parecen. A ver, aquí está la forma humana, digo, la forma femenina de la dragón. A ver, otro diseño. Ok, aquí uno blanco. A ver, deja checo el otro diseño. Estos no me captan mucho la atención. A ver, aquí está uno blanco. Le cambian le cambian la piel del morado de verde a blanco, pero no le puedes cambiar la piel de la forma humana. Pues lo bueno de todo es que ya puedo hacer mi propia Alexstrasza. La color rojo pero no me gusta que se hayan basado en el diseño de los humanos. Hubieran puesto como entre un híbrido, porque se siente y se ve que tiene los mismos assets de los humanos, combinado con otras. Le agregaron como algunas cosas haz de cuenta que agarraron de la base de las animaciones de los humanos y le echaron otra cosa encima, como le hicieron un relleno. No hicieron algo, no empezaron desde cero, pues hicieron el diseño basado en algo que ya estaba hecho. Esto sí es nuevo para mí, pero esto fue lo que no me gustó. el diseño en sí está basado en la raza humana del World of Warcraft. Como que agarraron el diseño todo lo que es el diseño de los humans en el World of Warcraft, y los más le pusieron relleno encima para que se viera bonito. Ese es un punto malo, la verdad. Yo lo veo, no me gusta el diseño, no me atrae, no me emociona. Me dije, ok, pues sí, una dragona, ¿no? Pero no se ve como esto es como la Alex Tracer, como no se ve el diseño en sí de ella, como más o menos. Podemos hablar de esta diseño de ella, es muy diferente. Y sí se ve como que más human, pues. Y aquí se ve se ve como que un diseño diferente, pues, más nuevo. O algo nuevo, pues. Este se ve como que, no sé, tiene un sentido humano, y eso no me gusta. No me agrada eso. Que se basen en diseño humano de algo que ya está hecho, y que nada más le pongan encima un relleno como que para que se vea diferente. Yo como que nada, no sé, no la regaron ahí, la verdad. Esas fueron las dos cosas que me decepcionaron, la verdad. Primero, el Extraza no salió en la cinemática en forma humana, y el segundo, el diseño de la raza, no. Sinceramente, no. La verdad, no. No. La verdad que sí, muy mal hecho Ay, güey. Fue una presentación muy corta. No, bueno, sí fue algo larga la presentación. Son como 1 hora de plática, ajá. Pero no me captó, no me emocionó, no. Nada más. El único punto malo fue lo del que no salió el Extraza en la cinemática en forma humana, lo que quería ver yo, lo que estaba esperando yo desde ayer. Estaba pensando, dije, ay, güey, va a salir el Extraza, a ver si la ponen chingón en su nuevo diseño, a ver qué tal está. Lo que quería ver, el diseño de ella, es lo que yo estaba esperando, y no la pusieron, la maldito no la pusieron, putos, se pasan. Eso me enoja, me molesta, en serio. Estos son los diseños de las armaduras modernas de ahorita. Uy, se ven chingonas. Del shaman, supongo, ¿no?
And this one, I mean, it's lightning coming out of it. Seems like shaman. This one right here seems like druid.
Oh, okay. This is Rube.
Why didn't they just label it? Well, I think I think they wanted to let people guess. You know, that's probably the reason why. Oh, I think some of these are repeated. Maybe like this one. I think this one's hunter.
Sí, this is hunter.
Because with hunters, they have like a very, like many times they've had characters and hunters sets. Hey. That had like the faces of animals on their shoulders. I don't know if that's Death Knight or not, man. Like, you guys think that's DK?
No, ese es Demon Hunter. I feel like this is more like DK. Ese es como, como the Death Knight.
I feel like this one, can we all agree like these two?
Ese es Warrior.
This is Warrior.
Ajá, sí.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Yeah, 100% Paladin.
Paladin y Warrior. Priest.
We're saying that the middle one is the new race, Draktyr? Maybe, but like I just don't see how you're gonna like. Maybe you're right. If that's the case, then yes, obviously, I guess this would be Death Knight. And let's see, this one, what could this be? I don't know. Priest, maybe? No, mage.
Mage, it's a mage.
Because of like the little arcane crystals and shit. Yeah, it's got to be mage.
Que ser el mago.
This one, maybe this is hunter. Bro, Like the dragon's face, like the mask.
That's so fucking cool.
Órale.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. The right one.
Oye, los diseños de las armaduras se ven chingonas, están fregonas, la verdad.
I think this one is very clearly like if we're gonna go with one as a warlock set.
Ese va a ser el brujo, el warlock.
Reminds me of a lot of this is like another druid set. That's a demon hunter set 100%. I mean, literally got the horns coming out of it. It's the priest set. Okay, so let's look at this the whole way through. All right. So we've got
rogue, druid, shaman, monk, paladin, warrior, dead knight.
Potentially evoker.
Oh, dead knight. Priest, warlock, demon hunter.
Death knight. Which one did I say? This one, mage, and also the last one would be hunter. I feel like that's what I think it is, right? I'm not sure. I feel like all these sets look really cool.
Sí, yo también opino lo mismo. Están fregones los diseños, la verdad.
The dragon kind of one with like the dragon soul set for warriors. Yeah. I like this one. It's probably the most badass. Yeah, I would say so. Like in general, what I always like having happen is like whenever I see all of the sets and all of the plate sets are just obviously the best sets. Yeah. Like they're just obviously the best sets. Like I mean, like a rat on fire. Look at this. Well, meanwhile, you got the fucking warrior set. Look at this. This is so badass. And you got the paladin set. Super fucking cool.
I look cool. Yeah. I look cool. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. That looks fucking cool.
I mean, it's not even remotely fucking close. So Rock's badass. Yeah, Rock is badass. Hey, goddamn right it is. You're goddamn right. Probably colors probably change what color dragonkin you are. Yeah, that could be it too. I think so. Absolutely. I feel like priest is the best. The priest one, to be fair, does look pretty cool. Like I'll grant you that. The priest one looks cool. The monk one, like oh god. I'm actually so glad they're doing this because somebody needs to take monks down a peg. Like they're so overpowered. They just one-shot you. They have a bunch of like annoying fucking abilities. They roll around constantly. Like thank God they're doing this. I've been waiting on this for a long time. Shaman's meh. You don't like the shaman set? I think the shaman set is not... I feel like the shaman set, one thing that's different about the shaman set is that exactly like this in game.
Estos son los diseños según que van a poner en la expansión.
So I think the shaman set, like we're gonna see that looks exactly like this. Same with like this rogue helmet and shit like this. Why did they put them with the leather group? I think they're just putting them with like different types of like colors. Yeah, I feel like it's just different color designs. You know, they've got 3 of these like I guess like purple, like teal colors. They've got 3 of these yellow, 3 reds or 4 reds actually, and then some blues. Right? They're different elements.
Oh, okay. Son diferentes elementos. Sería eléctrico, es eléctrico, holy, fire, and water. Water.
My eyes are glowing.
Say what?
My eyes are glowing.
Yeah, exactly. Like that looks badass. It looks so fucking cool, man. Yeah, Asma probably shows a tier token. That's why they're the same color. Oh, is it tier token? Well, no, I think usually colors denote difficulty. I mean, that's what it's always been like, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've got to have something that denotes difficulty. Like, what would it be? Maybe
your set looks like if a monk went up to punch you, he'd break his fucking hand on your arm.
I know. I know. If only that's the way the game worked. I wish it was. There was like a couple of patches where it worked that way, and it was fucking beautiful. Yeah, I loved it. And a warrior was needed from Rhino from Warframe. Well, I don't give a fuck where it came from. I give a fuck what it looks like, and it looks fucking badass. I really like the way it looks, guys. This is incredible. So overall, I feel like everything about this, like, All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys first, like before we give our opinions, so it doesn't, you know, influence anybody.
Okay.
What do you guys think about this whole announcement?
Yeah, true.
What do you guys think about this? Like, I mean, yeah, what do you think?
Bien.
Yeah, mods, can we link this?
A ver qué dicen. Dog shit. No pre-orders.
I feel like
a ver.
If you're a WoW fan
okay.
and you've played the game for many years,
yeah.
This expansion announcement is exactly what you wanted to hear.
No?
You wanted to hear that, listen, like, we're not going to do any more, like, weird borrowed power systems. We're going to make classes on a fundamental level better. We've heard you, and we're going to do things differently. Like, I feel like if you are a WoW player, that is basically what you wanted to hear. A little too fucking late? I mean, how's it too late? I mean, you just play the game again, right? I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's not, like, I'm not... Like, the thing is, like, I just stopped, like, this is the thing. It was the best decision I ever made was to stop, like, forcing myself to play the game whenever I wasn't having fun.
Okay. No.
You know what I mean? Like, it was, like, I... Poll it? Yeah, you know what? I'm actually really curious. Yeah,
okay.
Let me think. Alright, so if we do a poll, alright, what did you think about the expansion?
Vamos a poner una encuesta. A ver.
Alright, responses. Fucking awesome.
Ajá.
Boring. Let's see.
A ver.
What's the rest of these here? 1 to 10 it?
No.
Okay, how many... fuck, I don't know if I can even do 1 to 10. I can only do 5 options, okay? So I'm gonna do 10, 8, 6, 4, and then 2, okay? Yeah, 1 to 5. Oh, we do 1 to... Yeah, 1 to 5 sounds like way fucking easier. Okay.
Sí, 1 de 5, ajá. Exacto.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Alright, so yeah, what would you rate the expansion? So 5 being best, 1 being worst, alright? So we're going to go ahead and do a poll, and let's hear what people have to say. And then I'll talk about the way I feel.
A ver, ¿qué opinas acerca de el anuncio de la expansión? Pues 1, 4, 3, 4. 4.
So we've got a lot of people. Okay. You guys don't have to type the number in chat. You can literally click the button above and you just vote, okay? Like, you don't have to worry about any of the other stuff, okay? So most people are rating 52% out of 4, and 5 and 3 are about even, with 5 having a little bit more. So overall, like, almost 75% of people are rating it 4 and above. Like, a lot of people are happy about the expansion, and to be fair, there's very few people that are not happy about it. Yeah, so I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I would say that's the way I felt for the past 5 expansions.
Sí.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, yeah, we don't really know what the game is going to be like. We've never played the game. We have no idea. Like, how's it really going to happen, etc. Like, I mean, what's the system going to be? I'm not really sure. Don't get overhyped. Well, why? I just want to be excited for the game. Like, it's just a game, man. Like, it's just a game. I promise you guys. Like, it really is. It really is just a game. And I think it's very important to keep in mind that every single time that something like this happens or anything like this, just try to keep in mind that you just want to enjoy the game. That's it. Just enjoy the game.
But also keep in mind how bad, how terrible BFA and Shadowlands have been. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Temper your expectations because you never know. You thought Shadowlands was going to be awesome, and look what happened. Okay? Just temper that shit. But also, you know, you can be excited and happy that there's no new system, and the talent tree is being totally revamped.
Yeah.
You know, so that's fine.
Like, here's how I would say my excitement and the way that I feel about the expansion is. I feel like there's nothing they could have said that's better than what they did say. Like, I'm not sure what I would be expecting to hear. I'm not sure what I would be expecting to see, etc. I think this is totally fine.
Sí, yo también pienso lo mismo. Está más o menos, está bien. O sea, no me emocionó tanto, pero no estuvo bien.
That's the only thing maybe I would have switched up.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was totally pleased with the presentation.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's good. Dark Ranger class housing AoE cap removal. I mean, whenever I hear people say stuff like that, it just indicates to me that you don't play the game. They removed the AoE cap last year. Yeah, it got removed last year. Wait, what do you mean? Like, yeah, no new parasitic system. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, guys, I understand that, like, and there's a lot of people, to be fair, a lot of people quit the game last year. A lot of people just straight up quit the game last year so they wouldn't know. And the system is dragon riding. Yeah, I hope it's good. I do. I really, really hope that it's good. And talking about the soft cap, you mean the soft cap that's been in the game ever since Burning Crusade? You think that needs to get removed? I would disagree. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, the soft cap is okay, guys. It's not that big of a deal. And level 70, yeah, there we go. They'll talk about systems whenever alpha comes out. Yeah, I think that, so for me, I am, as somebody who's played WoW, you know, I've played WoW since vanilla, and everything, like, what are my overall impressions of the expansion? Like, this is exactly, like, everything that they said are things that I would have wanted. There's nothing that they really mentioned that I'm like, oh, this is not that great.
¿Este es el nuevo diseño de Alexstrasza? A ver, déjalo checo en internet.
I'm not sure yet, but I'm glad to see them trying ideas. I think that's
a ver, déjalo guacho.
The boost and Wrath, who cares? Like, I mean, who gives a fuck, man?
I care.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. The boob nerf for Alexstrasza,
A ver, oh sí. Sí, le cambiaron. A ver, oh, a ver, concept art. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está?
Oh, this is the key art. Okay, let's see that.
A ver, key art.
Available in pre-patch for Wrath of the Lich King. That's probably a good idea too. Actually, maybe it's not, because then you're gonna have everybody playing the two new zones. But I guess they have better tech now, so it won't be as big of a deal. Okay, so the Dracthyr, World of Warcraft's key art. All right, let's see this Dragon Rider, and we already saw the rest of these. Okay, I mean, yeah, all of this looks really cool too, for sure. The raid set concept, I already looked at that.
Ah, ahí está. Oh.
That's the only thing they've really put out yet. Oh, this is new. I don't think I've seen this before. I mean, like, this looks really good. I mean, I don't know. I think this looks great. I also think there's something that's like a very small thing that, like, maybe nobody gives a shit about, but I do. It does remind me a little bit of like Torghast or like you know, looking at Blackrock Foundry or something like that for sure. The draw distance, being able to see farther out into the distance in the game.
¿Dónde está el key art de esto? ¿Dónde se metió este cabrón?
I think is actually such a big deal. Because I remember whenever I played New World and you could...
No sé dónde se metió este güey. A ver el key art.
It was so badass.
Ah, aquí está el concept art. Oh, ok. Ya lo encontré. Pero ¿dónde están los otros? Ah, aquí está.
Bro, I swear they did that shit in Legion. They removed it so you could see like Dalaran from Stormine, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they changed it or what. But I thought they did that shit, did they? Didn't they, chat?
I don't fucking know, man. I'm actually not sure. I have no idea. But I think that, like, yeah, just overall about it. Let's see here. What's holding the expansion back is lack of trust in the company. Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of times, and this is my best advice for you guys, right? Is that if you're not sure if you want to play the game or not, don't pre-order the game and just wait for us to play it on release. Like, we're gonna sorry, I've got to move this around. We're gonna play the game on release, and we're gonna see how it is, and you guys will see our impression of the game, and just go from there, right? Rather than buy it for yourself.
A ver, aquí está el diseño de Alex Traza. Este no, ese sí es de ella, pero creo que sí la cambiaron o sí es diferente. Ya no es igual. Ey, sí, sí, sí. Como que no agregaron un... Oh, ok.
I think there absolutely can be. Like 100% there absolutely can be. Like 100%, yeah. And also, if it's anything like Demon Hunter, the DPS spec will probably be a tank spec somehow anyway, with some bullshit lifesteal thing. Right, absolutely. Now let's see what the Reddit's thinking about this. I'm actually kind of curious about this. Let's see here, and like an announcement, let's not learn the hard way with no shadow. Oh, the pre-order thing, yeah. And let's see here, Dracthyr. I'm wondering if they have the picture of Kalagos. I'm not seeing it anywhere here.
No, no está.
Not safe for work. Okay, we're not gonna look at that one. Oh fuck, I don't know where this is. Screw the negativity. Wait, are people being negative about the expansion?
Yo.
Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, send it to you on Discord. They aren't? Well, let's see what they said. I brought in a negative attitude based on the leaks I'm sold. However, I and everyone else should wait until release before spending a single dime. It really seems like we're trying to make...
A ver el diseño de la Alex Traza.
Like, we want them to try to make us happy. Like, this is not like... I hate how people, like, turn this into, like, a bad thing. Like, oh, they're just doing it to make the community happy. Yeah, but
hicieron...
That's what they're supposed to do. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Let me actually make this the new Reddit because it's easier to read things that way, okay? And, let's see here. That's the expansion. And, let's go back.
Yo ya esperaba que le taparan ahí y le dejaran sin bikini. Okay. Dicen que le nerfearon los boobs.
I think that farming a secondary system is totally fine as long as you don't have to farm that secondary system on alts.
Creo que sí. Hey.
And also if it's not like time gated with a bunch of
sí,
bullshit,
sí,
right?
sí, sí,
overall, I'm fine.
Sí la nerfearon.
Make it account wide and it's okay. Because I think that almost every
sí la nerfearon. Sí la nerfearon a la mona. Chingada. Sí está nerfeada la pobrecilla, güey. La nerfearon. Pasan de lanza.
They have like I guess like weapon leveling, etc. But you don't really play alts in New World, so it's a different thing. In general, I think that really what they should look at is making sure that every task is a fundamental MMO grind. And I'm also going to say, I don't think that MMO grinds are bad. I don't think that MMO grinds are bad fundamentally. I think that some people enjoy them and they can be fulfilling by
sí la nerfearon, la verdad.
And it's like if you don't like grinding, maybe you shouldn't play an MMO. Like
that's
really the truth. And so
sí,
yeah, that's the way I feel about
totalmente nerfeada la pobre.
Again, they added the dragon one. Really? Okay, let me see it again. The dragon one, let's see it right now.
Sí, está.
Holy shit! These tier sets seem to be related to the elemental proto-dragon leaders.
Ah.
Oh my god. Where are their arms?
Yo!
Look at them little arms!
Look at the paladin one. That one's fucking sick.
Yeah. These are the same ones, right? Yeah, I see it. This is cool. Oh my god. Yeah, the earthen one looks really cool too. And so I like this. This one's got like kind of more of a beak, like the Anzus. This one's got the Deathwing mouth. This has got like the traditional dragon, like a storm dragon one. And this one's more like the, you know what it reminds me a little bit of? It reminds me of the magma worms in Elden Ring. Like a larger, lower mouth, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's cool.
yeah.
I like this a lot. Yeah, small, yeah, exactly. With the proto-dragon. I really like how they have different faces, and you can see kind of... Like, one example of this that I thought they did really well in Warlords of Draenor is they showed throughout like the different types of ecology in Warlords of Draenor, the difference between like how something like Tectus evolved into an ogre. With like the, the Grons, the Ogrons, the Ogres, the living mountains, right? And like the whole evolution of it, I thought was really, really well done. It was very well designed. And it was subtle, but it was really well designed. I loved it, man. So I hope they do more of that. And so, yeah, evolution's fake. Well, if it's fake, then explain how there's the things that look the same.
Got him.
Yeah, come on, there it is. Glamrung, yeah, he does look a little bit like that, because he does, well, Glamrung is one of the first dragons in Middle-earth, and he actually didn't have wings. It wasn't until later on that dragons became winged monsters. Glamrung had no wings. God did that? Yeah, true, actually. And let's see here, new Lost Ark video.
A mí me gustaba mucho este diseño, la verdad. Este también. Este era el diseño original de la Alexstrasza y me gustaba más este diseño. Más que si la nerfearon a la pobre mona. Chinga.
There was no great grand enemy of Legion. I don't think so. It was Gul'dan, right? And then, like, what's going to happen after Gul'dan? It's like, maybe we're going to fight Sargeras. It wasn't like, okay, it did, but the villain wasn't on the box. You understand kind of the difference between, like, Wrath of the Lich King and Legion? Where, like, Legion, we went from conflict to conflict. Whereas, like, in Wrath of the Lich King, we had, like, one enemy, big boss, fight him. It's just that guy. But also, I think that Legion's not really that great of example in general.
Este es el diseño principal.
Mists of Pandaria did not have an enemy on the box. Well, it did. It was the Panthers.
Y sí,
and I agree with that. However,
este es el nuevo. Vamos a ver.
I actually think that it's a good idea.
Creo que sí la nerfearon a la Alexstrasza.
Like, okay, this is the way that the game is going to go, right? It's that kind of a thing. So I'm happy about that. I don't think it's a bad thing.
La verdad, es muy diferente, la verdad. Sí. No lo mismo. No lo mismo.
So don't get me wrong. I'm happy that they didn't announce like a big new system or anything like that.
Eso sí, tienes razón. No anunciaron un sistema nuevo más que lo de las personas que digo de las monturas voladoras nada más.
I don't know. I mean, probably just like stuff, and there's gonna be like bosses, and like there's probably like other like guys to kill, and there's like probably a mount you can farm somewhere. Like that's kind of what I'm expecting. There's gonna be like probably a world quest where like you have to go and like kill 10 proto drakes or something that are like corrupted, or like kill like 15 centaurs and you get like 10 azurite power, and then you can spend that to upgrade your crafting gear, but you craft one that has a low quality. Oh, gnolls too. Yeah, exactly. They should do a quest in Dragonflight. I'm gonna call it Dragonblight fucking 50 million times. In Dragonflight, where you have to get 9 painted gnoll bands, just like the original quest in Elwyn Forest. I feel like they have to do that, man. Absolutely. What's the name of our new capital, Asmon? I don't remember what it was called. It's like some fucking thing. Yeah, let's see here. By the way, Calagos model is an MMO champion. I'll have to look at that in a bit. Scared about 100-hour Dragonflight grind? I don't think it's bad as long as you don't have to do it more than once, and it's something that retains its value throughout the expansion. Like 100 hours of content versus 100 hours of grind. What's really the difference? I think the difference is if it's fun or not. That's generally the way that I see it. So yeah, let's see what people have to say. I love the commentary by Ian right after. No one saw it coming. Kept it very secret. Well, they did this before. Like, they made a joke because Wrath of the Lich King got leaked a week early, too. And they literally just joked about it right there at BlizzCon. Because, like,
we will never do another neutral race again. After Mantra of the Pandas.
Yeah, I think that's totally okay. This could be one of the expansions ever.
New race looks ugly. Okay.
I like the colorful high fantasy setting. The race looks weird as fuck, though. I think so, yeah. I mean, the race is definitely, let's be honest, it's a really big risk for Blizzard to do this. They're adding in an entire new race into the game. They can only play one class, and it's a brand new class. And as far as I know, you can only play that class if you're that dragon. So what's going to happen?
Ah.
I don't know. Like, I'm
No
actually
quiero
thinking,
ser
is this the right
una.
I'm kind of glad to see them doing something that's
No
so,
quiero ser
so aggressive, though. I feel like
una
it's kind of a,
lagartija sexualizada.
yeah, like I'm glad to see them trying something.
I don't want to be a sexual lizard. That's not a snake.
Yeah, let's
Snake.
do something stunning and brave, exactly. And let's see here. They should make them be able to be warrior, mage, and evoker. I'm not sure. I think they might add that later on based off of how they're received.
The class being a hero after two
Shortest age of mortals ever. Who
level.
gets a shit? No one seen it coming, right? Race and class locked. Okay, and interesting. Cinematic was meh. I feel like nothing happened. Big stone dude turned on a tower. Okay. Definitely one of the weakest and worst reveals.
Sí, yo también pensé lo mismo. La cinemática de la expansión no está tan emocionante. Es la peor de todas las cinemáticas que han salido, la verdad. De todas las cinemáticas que salieron, de todas las expansiones, es la peor, es la menos emocionante que me ha dado, la verdad, no.
Shadowlands okay tier for someone who has no knowledge of WoW. See, like, I thought the cinematic was totally fine. I did. I thought it was totally fine. It's like not every cinematic has to be like this like crazy massive thing or whatever. Like let me pull up the trailer and we'll look at it right.
Sí, sí, sí.
I'm just glad nothing got shattered by a very strong independent moment.
Yeah,
it's just dragons flying around, bro.
Yeah, it's just dragons flying around. And I think that's clearly what the vibe was, right? Like this is cool. Like everything about this was totally fine, and I think that actually them not having this like massive crazy thing, I feel like this is definitely a departure from this expansion. Everything about it and the way that it's being delivered and all, in terms of like the narrative and everything, reminds me a lot of Mists of Pandaria.
Yep.
So yeah, it feels like it's a really cool cinematic. I like it a lot. And it's just extremely vague, and it just is cool. That's it. Like,
was that tier though? Is that tier or what?
I don't know. I thought tier was somewhere else. Like, it's so confusing that would even happen.
Yeah, I don't know who the guy was.
Yo también.
Picking him up, I thought this was just fucking badass. Like, all things considered, like, even if you don't like it necessarily, there wasn't like a huge plot point or something like this. That was really fucking cool, man. Tears, the dude on the throne? Yeah, but I thought he was like in Tears Fall. Tears Fall? You know, Tears Fall? Like, I thought that's where he was. But, you know, it is what it is, right? I'm not sure. Jolly Green Giant? I'm fine with it, man. That's totally okay with me. And, yeah, just in general, I'm happy about this. This is really cool. And, we'll see what happens. I mean, if this is... I think introducing an expansion without like some overarching like massive villain narrative might actually make the team more free to make better stories.
Caray.
Because I thought in
una notificación, no sé de qué.
Just happened in one patch. In Vanilla WoW, I think this also reminds me a little bit of Vanilla WoW. Like, what's really happening in the Vanilla WoW cinematic? Nothing. Players' characters are just running around, and there's a little bit of PvP going on. There's no Kel'Thuzad or Cthulhu or, you know, Nefarian in the cinematic. It's just some people running around. And that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen besides this, and we'll go from there. Check the talent tree, the spec tree, and the class tree. Rusted Druids can get Skull Bash Interrupt. Oh, fuck. Okay, great. Yeah, well, look, it's still, it's not even an alpha yet, all right? We're going to let them, we're not going to get upset or worried about that yet, okay? And so, yeah, they add in the villain later. It's not a big deal. Watch an in-depth dev interview. They don't mention any seasonal point system. Yeah, I think so. I think they'll probably do one.
¿Qué es esta? Una Dead Knight. Ahora está curada su armadura. La verdad.
I'm not overly excited or disappointed. I usually wait to play the expansion before I make any assumptions. But indeed,
242.
Yeah,
242.
And let's see here. And I want to look and see what people are saying, because apparently there's a lot of people. There's like.
Ah, me acordaba que tenía que agarrar mi tier set. Ahorita voy a agarrar mi tier set. Voy a agarrar mi tier set.
Do you think Season Master is done for good after this announcement? No, I think the opposite, actually. Let's see here. What sword? Okay, let's see on my Reddit. Gold.
Oiga, el diseño aquí está, mira, el extraza. Bueno, qué chido. Pero sí la nerfearon a la pobre Alexstrasza. Sí, está nerfeada la mona. Shit. Fucking nerf.
There it is, boys. We're ready. I used to play that game back whenever I was like, I don't even know how old. Like, it was a long time ago. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find all the rest of these here. Not Nuevo Andy here. What's all the height for? Let's see here. Ducks.
Ahorita regreso, voy a checar unas cosas ahorita. Voy a dejar esto aquí primero.
Okay. Alright. So let's see here. And look at what my analysis of Asmon's first Vampire Survivor games win. Like, wait, what? This guy did a live reaction to me playing the game. Did I get lucky? It was skill.
I'm gonna watch that.
I am too. It's fucking funny. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what people are saying. Okay.
Bueno.
Yeah, I'll react to his reaction of me reacting to playing the game. 21 minute.
Ok, camaradas, creo que ya es tiempo de cerrar esta conclusión, esta exposición de la nueva expansión. No sé, o sea, me gusta el diseño, el nuevo diseño de Alexstrasza, está chido, pero sí la nerfearon, la verdad, está bastante nerfeada. ¿Qué te pasó? ¿Qué te pasó? ¿No comías bien o qué? ¿Qué te pasó? Bueno, no es eso. No me esperaba este diseño que fuera tan diferente. Pero lo que más me decepcionó, no quiero ser tan negativo, la verdad, pero sí estoy un poco decepcionado que no hayan puesto a la forma humana de Alexstrasza en la cinemática, que es lo que yo estaba esperando, la verdad. Era lo que yo quería que me emocionara un chingo, era ver eso. No lo mostraron, no lo pusieron. Ahí es un menos, la verdad. Yo calificaría la presentación como que, pues bien, no me emocionó. Nada más lo único que más me emocionó fue, pues ya sabía que iba a salir Wrath of the Lich King en clásico, ¿no? Pues ya lo sabía, ya lo tenía entendido. Pero yo estaba esperando algo diferente y más con la versión clásica. Y una vez tuve un sueño que iban a lanzar la versión clásica de World of the Lich King, pero con las cosas modernas de lo que es con las cosas modernas de los sistemas de las gráficas que existieron en la versión retail. Van a combinar pues una remasterización, ¿no?, de World of the Lich King, pero no lo van a hacer. Eso sí, eso es lo que yo tenía, esa expectativa. Tenía una expectativa muy grande sobre eso. ¿Cómo puedo calificar mi reacción ante el nuevo contenido? Pues yo digo bien. No me sorprendió, no me emocionó tanto, pero se me hizo pues bien. Bastantes fallas, eso sí, bastantes fallas que he sido yo he sido un World of Warcraft player durante más de... Yo nada más jugué la versión clásica del... Yo empecé con Vanilla y luego Burning Crusade. Wrath of the Lich King era lo chingón de todo, la verdad. Y luego siguió Cataclysm. Y yo jugué el Pandaria, lo jugué. Y yo paré, desde Pandaria paré todo. Dije ya, se están yendo para otra parte que no es mi visión. Y ya se hizo más casual, más amistoso. Y dije no, ya para mí este RPG ya no es lo que estaba esperando. Y después pasó tiempo, tenía muchas ganas de... Una vez me acuerdo que tenía realmente ganas de regresar cuando estaba en Legion, pero dije no, por cuestiones personales no estaba jugando Legion. Y pues volví a Shadowlands y dije pues estaba en especial, dije bueno pues déjalo pruebo y a ver qué tal. Pues estaba extremadamente en una oferta que me ofreció Blizzard y dije me voy a tomar y a ver qué show. Y me la pasé en Final Fantasy XIV. La verdad soy un más fanático al Final Fantasy que a World of Warcraft, la verdad. Y pues he jugado FF durante casi toda mi vida, se puede decir, ¿no? Y pues sí estoy un poquito... O sea, está bien, la expansión está aceptable, se ve bien, pero no lo que esperaba. La verdad que no es bueno tener las expectativas tan arriba y dije, ay, lo van a hacer chingón. Y no, yo estaba esperando una sorpresa. Estaba esperando una sorpresa en la cinemática. Y yo quería ver lo único que yo quería ver, lo único que yo quería sorprenderme, y lo único que quería yo ver esta presentación de las 9 de la mañana era al Extraza en la cinemática en forma humana, como aquí en la presentación que está aquí enfrente. Yo quería verla en forma cinemática, por lo menos hablar o decir algo, no sé, algo. Pero no, nada más salió en forma de dragón y nada más hizo ¡guau! Ya, y se acabó. Como que... Ay, güey. Híjole. No, sí. No, están tomando... Mis expectativas estaban... Había expectativas altas, pero no tan altas que digamos, va a estar... voy a ver esto. No tenía una expectativa tan alta. Fíjate, eso es lo curioso de todo. Mi expectativa no era tan alta y aún así no me dieron esa sorpresa. Y dije, no, la verdad que no. No tenía la expectativa, no era tan alta que yo tenía cuando iba a ver la presentación. Y aún así, aunque no tuviera la expectativa tan alta, aún así me decepcionaron de la cinemática. Varias veces grité y dije, hazte humana, hazte forma humana. Y es lo que quería ver, hazte forma humana. La Extraza es lo que yo quería ver, porque la Extraza para mí es mi waifu, es la waifu que me gusta. Y no se hizo forma humana en la cinemática, la maldita. Y no la pusieron en varias partes de la presentación. Y eso fue lo que me tronó, pues es lo que fue el enojo que me dio a mí, como que porque no pusieron esa expectativa que tenía era muy corta. Híjole. Pues ahorita en un rato ya voy a tomar un poquito de descanso y voy a dejar de hablar sobre ello. Y en un rato más regreso y voy a ponerse un gameplay. Tengo que seguir con mi maga para llegar a 70, pero tengo que hacer las cosas semanales todavía porque hoy es el reset. En un rato lo pongo mientras me voy a tomar un gran descanso porque necesito hacer unos mandados y en un rato más regreso. Ahí nos guachamos. Goodbye.